Hey everybody, welcome back to the Alignment Academy. And today we're going to be talking about how to love yourself on the next level. Next level self love, how to love all of you, including the parts that you might see as damaged or the dark side of you or that shadow side of you, whatever it is, but how to really love all parts of yourself. And I feel like this is so important because the more you love yourself, as within, so without. So as you love your internal self, the outside world will love you as well, and you'll glow up in every area of your life. And it just really has this profound ripple effect across your career, your health, your business, your love life, literally everything. So really working on that internal part of you, the inner self-love, leveling that up. So if you see me looking down, I jotted down a few notes. And the first thing that I put down was forgiveness. Forgiveness is such a key pillar of self-love because so many people, at the end of the day, we're all humans. We all go through stuff. Everybody has been through their stuff. Whatever your story is, it could literally be anything. We are born into certain families. We are born into certain economic statuses. We are born to certain, hardships, whatever it is. But so many people carried the baggage with them, like the Erykah Badu song Bag Lady. People are carrying baggage with them throughout their entire lives, and that baggage is truly weighing them down so much. And how do you get rid of the baggage, even if you felt like you were responsible, you were the cause, whatever? Maybe you feel like you were the victim, but maybe you also been the person that has been, the oppressor or the one who's been doing wrong to people. Whatever it is, you have to fully forgive yourself, because you cannot move on in life if you're holding on to things from a year ago, 10 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever it is. You can't continue on with life. And these emotions, these memories, these whatever it is, they're not meant to stick with you forever. Maybe it sticks with you throughout a season so that you can take the lessons and learn it. But at some point, you got to say, okay, I learned that lesson, been there, done that. I forgive myself. And that moment of forgiveness allows love to fill up that space. It's like, imagine you have a room that's just filled with shame, guilt, horrific things, horror, whatever it is. And at a certain point, you realize that you're going to realize and decide that you're going to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. That room is now wiped clean. Now you have a clean slate and you can fill that room up with self-love. So what does this look like on a very practical level? A few things that I have done has literally been like writing letters of forgiveness to myself and telling myself, or it's also, I've done it in meditations as well, where I'm like, okay, these are things that I have done. These are things that I've been through. Asking myself for forgiveness, asking God for forgiveness, asking my heart, my body, my mind, whatever it is, for forgiveness. So really dropping in and really, maybe if you've been through something in life, maybe you can drop into a meditation and then you can ask yourself, where is it sitting in your body? Try to see if you can find where this emotion is, this trapped emotion is in your body, and then feel that part of yourself, of your body, put a lot of your attention there, and then ask yourself for forgiveness. I promise you, if you do this, it is going to be a game changer. You will literally feel a difference overnight. It is such a profound tactic, very simple, something you can do at home. It's free. You don't need to involve other people, but ask yourself for forgiveness and then pray for forgiveness as well. And be real and be honest with yourself. Like, don't sugarcoat these stories that you were telling yourself. Don't, this is the moment for you to be as raw and as vulnerable and as honest with yourself within your private space through your prayers, whatever it is. And do the simple thing, ask for forgiveness. Once that is clear, inherently your heart space will take up more space and you will love yourself deeper, because you won't see these parts of your past as something that's so horrific or so, whatever it is. You might see it more as a lesson, like, oh, maybe I needed to go through that to learn something. Or maybe you'll see it as a testimony. Oh, I've been through that, but now I get to help other people and teach other people so they don't have to go through it, or you can help them get out of it. It'll really be a perspective shift for you, and you won't potentially see it as something so negative. So the number one thing is forgiveness. And then for number two, I put down validate yourself. This one is so important. I feel like validating yourself is such a strong form of protection as well, because when you are out here looking for validation from any and everybody, especially dating, but even at work as well, it puts you in a really vulnerable, a kind of weak position, because other people have power over you. Because if they don't validate you, now you're chasing them, looking for validation. And that's just not a good place to be. And it doesn't feel good to, everyone has power over you and you're not really strong-willed. So instead of looking outside of you and looking at your surroundings for validation, and for your job or for a person or for a relationship to tell you that you are beautiful and you are strong and you are capable and you are brilliant and all of these things, go within and tell yourself that. If you have to say daily affirmations, I am capable, I am strong, I am beautiful, whatever it is that you're struggling with, tell yourself that. And the interesting part about it is that once you start telling yourself you're beautiful every single day, I promise you the outside world will see you as even more beautiful. And the cool thing about this too is that it happens in layers. So you might go through a phase where, since we're talking about beauty, like we'll use that as an example, but you might be, dealing with beauty insecurities. You tell yourself you're beautiful every day, you're beautiful, and you really ingrain that and deepen into that. And then in a whole another year or two, or whatever the timeline is, you might have another layer of that where you're diving deeper into your beauty even more. So validate yourself. This is a lifelong journey, and just continue doing it on every single level in every area of your life. Validate yourself. You don't need anyone else on this planet to tell you that you are X, Y, and Z. You don't need to chase people. You don't need to run after people and look for that. You just need to tell yourself that you are everything you want in this world. Everything that you seek already lives inside of you, and you really just gotta go within. And that's probably the theme for this video, like going within, looking within, and validating yourself within, and loving yourself within. But go within, validate yourself. You don't need external factors to tell you you're X, Y, and Z, because all of those things already live internally. And then for the last point, I wrote down darkness, but I gotta give context for this. So when it comes to loving the fullness of who you are, and this one kind of plays into forgiveness as well, you have to also love your shadow side. So some people might call it your shadow side. Some people might call it your darker side. Some people might call it, like, there's a lot of names for it, but as humans, we are multifaceted creatures. We have many sides within us, and certain sides are more dominant, but then some sides are inherently just a part of who we are. But if society deemed that part as bad, or, I think an example that a lot of women might resonate with is that a lot of women are taught when they're little girls to be a good girl, and it's like, oh, look at her, she's such a good girl, she's so sweet, she's so this. And then if you're a very sassy child, or a very like kind of cutthroat child, or a very, you know, direct child, sometimes adults are like, oh, she's a sassy one, she's a little bossy, she's very cutthroat. And if you hear that repeated, if you hear that a lot as a child, you will tell your subconscious self that that part is bad and you need to suppress it, right? So then that, you know, that sassy side of you, that kind of like dark feminine side of you becomes suppressed, and it could become a shadow. And fully, the key of loving all parts of yourself are really looking at the shadows and integrating them, and also thinking about like, is this shadow that someone told me for so many years even bad? Because a lot of times the shadow side of people are sometimes the most brilliant parts of them. That might be the most creative side of you. If you are the sassy, cutthroat, you know, little girl, and now you're an adult, that part of you might be the most protective side of you. It might be where your creation, you know, lives. When you think about creation and you think about the womb, that is very dark. It's like a void, and a lot of things can happen there. So really doing a little bit of shadow work, I would say, and really looking at all sides of you, even the sides that someone else might have told you are bad. Because even if it is something like anger, you know, there's a time and place where maybe being angry isn't the worst thing in the world if it's coming from an intentional place of being protective over your family, or, you know, something else. So a lot of these shadow sides, these darker sides with intention, are really, really, really powerful. And instead of suppressing it for so long, really doing the work to dive deeper to see, first of all, what's there, but how can you integrate it in a healthy way, and then use it with intention, and then also love that side of you. Because if that's who you are, you have to love the fullness of who you are. So this is mostly it, and definitely check out my courses, link below, and also my one-on-one coaching. I'm really excited to get this message through, and I hope that it really just reaches any woman, any person who needs it. And I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Bye.